This bill, and not for the Democrats that spoke against the bill but didn't address the bill. This bill gives the parents the recourse that the federal standards do not define. In the testimonies, I believe every single testimony against the bill, in particular the educators, when I asked them, I know you're not teaching critical race theory. In my head, I'm thinking, well, why wouldn't you be? Why are you so emphatic to say that nobody's teaching it, nobody's teaching it, nobody's teaching it? There must be something wrong with teaching critical race theory that everybody's so animately opposed to teaching it in the classroom and saying, I don't teach it. And then I said, but if somebody is teaching something that you may call critical race theory, or you may call it indoctrination of a particular religion, if they're going too far, should there be discipline? In every single testimony, they said, yes, a teacher should be disciplined. So the good news is that the other side of the aisle that didn't address the bill in their objections all agreed that a teacher can go too far. And we do know that through different surveys that teachers agree that they go too far. They admit it, and because they believe in it. In one of the testimonies, the teacher said, I teach my children the truth. This past week in another testimony, last week in another testimony, the teacher was given three chances to recant her statement that parents are screwing up their kids, they're not teaching them the way they should be taught, and that's why we need educators to do it for them. And then one of the representatives gave chances to recant that, and the testimony actually dug in. So we do know that what they're saying isn't happening is happening, that teachers are going too far. They all admitted that if they do, they should be disciplined. This bill gets to that point of the minority of the teachers that are teaching it, whatever it is. Every single term that the other side of the aisle uses has multiple, maybe even unlimited definitions that keep moving the bullseye. You can never have a conversation and a debate, because when you talk about equity, they give the definition that suits them for that time, but then when it's in the classroom, equity has a different definition that crosses the line according to the testimonies of parents. The parents that testified for the bill said, this is our fault. For the last 50 years as parents, we've neglected participating with our kids' education to the point where all of these ideas have entered into the classroom, and we didn't do our due diligence to be the primary educators of our kids. So as they gave that authority up, the school districts slowly start to take it over. The parents said some of the ideas were progressive that our kids were being taught, but we said, oh, my kid can argue himself out of a paper bag just fine. Let it go. But now it's getting a little different. So the parents, they came to Madison and said, the federal standards aren't defined enough. We need recourse. We need the ability to hold our public schools accountable, taxpayer-funded schools accountable when they cross those lines that the teachers say they're not crossing. And then on another poll, teachers say, yeah, we do cross those lines. So when it does happen, if it happens, the bill is a solid bill that gives the recourse to the parents. So that's our job, to represent those people, the primary educators. And the bill does it quite simply. In the testimonies, they kept saying, you're going to prohibit the teaching of history. We can't say certain words And Ledge Council said, no, the bill does not do that. So Ledge Council over and over and over and over squashed that red herring, that straw man, that false narrative. So the bill has legal language that's already used in our current statutes. When you look at critical race theory and all the language that's used and the definitions that they give, those definitions are different than what's in Webster or in our statutes. So, yes, our laws are good. Our laws are solid, and we understand them. The courts understand them. The parents understand it. And they want us as legislators to give them the pathway to recourse. If the school district does not fix the problem when a teacher goes too far, the parents have a punitive recourse. If the school district doesn't fix it, the school district is given plenty of time to fix the wrong that's taking place in the classrooms. And if they don't, the law is clear. You cannot teach my child something that is against the values we teach at home as a fact when it is theoretical, philosophical, religious. You can't do that. And when someone does, if it's one, because we're told it doesn't happen in classrooms, there's recourse. The most accomplished academic that spoke in testimony, that had the most experience, the highest levels of education and degrees behind his name, said at the end of his testimony, we must teach critical race theory in the classrooms. We must. As everybody said, we don't. We don't. It's only in the colleges. And he says, no, it must be taught. So the bill gives clarity that the federal standards don't, and it gives recourse for parents. So I'm proud to be on this bill. I'm thankful for the votes for the bill. And I think that my colleagues on the other side, to serve their constituents well, would do the right thing and vote yes for AB 411. Thank you.